Arriving at the gates, another group intercepted them before they could pass through. There were 5 of them, all looking noticeably more experienced than Moon's group. Their equipment showed signs of use, scuff marks on armor. They were obviously not part of the same batch that Moon and the others came in. A tall man with short-cropped hair stepped forward, his eyes scanning Moon's group. He wore medium armor and had a longsword strapped to his hip. He appeared to be in his late teens, 19 maybe. His gaze lingered on Selene. "Hey there, you 4 look like you're about to head out for the first time." Selene glanced at everyone for a moment. Seeing no response, she positioned herself as the de facto spokesperson. "We are indeed." "Thought so." The man gestured to his group behind him. "My name's Derek. We've been here for some time now and we cleared a few zones. Most of us are level 5. We're heading out to farm some level 2 and 3 beasts in the eastern woodlands. Generally, it's a safer area, good for newer groups to get their feet wet and all." One of Derek's companions, a woman with her hair tied back and a bow across her shoulders, added, "The thing is, we're short of a teammate. Our team member had to return to Earth for personal reasons. When we saw your group, we figured we'd ask if you wanted to join up. Strength in numbers, you know." Derek nodded. "We'd split the loot fairly based on contribution. You'd get experience, safety, and we'd have more flexibility with a larger group. It's a win-win situation, what do you say?" Selene's expression remained polite. "That's generous of you to offer." "Not at all," Derek said with an easy smile. "Eastern woodlands are relatively safe, but things can still go wrong. An extra mage, a tank, and archer, that improves everyone's odds." His eyes moved across Moon's group again, cataloging their classes based on their equipment. "What do you say? Better than going out alone on your first run." The woman with the bow leaned in slightly. "No pressure, but we're leaving in about 5 minutes. The good hunting spots get crowded if you wait too long." Selene glanced back at John, Alara, and Moon. Her expression was thoughtful, weighing the offer. The silence stretched for a moment as she considered. "Can you give us a second to discuss?" Selene asked. "Sure, take your time," Derek said, stepping back slightly. "We'll be right over there." His group moved a few meters away, giving them space but remaining within sight. Selene turned to face the others, her voice dropping low. "What do you think?" John crossed his arms, his brow furrowed slightly. "I mean, they seem legitimate. Level 5 is only 2 levels above us, and they've been here a week, so they know the terrain better than we do." Alara's response was more measured. "The eastern woodlands could be a good starting point, but why approach us specifically? There are other new groups here." Moon spoke up, his voice quiet but firm. "It's convenient timing. They show up right as we're about to leave. They're missing exactly 1 role and they know exactly where to take us." He looked at Derek's group, who were chatting among themselves. "Doesn't it seem a bit too perfect?" Selene tilted her head, considering his words. "What are you thinking? That it's some kind of trap?" "I'm thinking we don't know them, we don't know their intentions. Yes, they're only level 5, but that's still an advantage if things go wrong, and we'd be following them to wherever they want to take us." John shook his head slightly. "Moon, I get being cautious, but they're not that much stronger than us. If they wanted to do something, it wouldn't be worth the risk for them either. We're all awakeners here. It's not like they can just rob us without consequences. Besides, aren't we all in the same boat? We never knew each other before this, so you can apply the same principle to our gathering." Alara agreed with John and added her own. "Besides, the eastern woodlands is a known area. Other groups hunt there too. It's not some isolated place where they could do whatever they wanted." She paused. "And honestly, having experienced people guide us on our first outing isn't a bad thing. We could learn from watching them." Selene looked at Moon directly. "I understand your concerns, but they have a point. The difference between level 3 and level 5 isn't massive, and if we're worried about safety, having more people actually helps us, not them." Moon remained silent for a moment. Everything they said made logical sense. The level gap wasn't insurmountable, the location was public, and the reasoning was sound. But logic didn't erase the instinct telling him to be careful. Still, refusing outright would make him look paranoid. It would also create friction with his new group. He needed this group at least until he understood more about how the first sanctuary worked and how his own class worked. All right, John clapped his hands together once. All right then, let's do it. Ilara simply nodded her agreement. Selene turned back toward Derek's group and walked over. Moon followed with the others, his eyes keeping track of where each member of Derek's group positioned themselves. "We're in," Selene said. Derek's smile widened. "Great choice. You won't regret it. Eastern Woodlands have good spawns and we'll make sure you get your share of the experience." He gestured toward the gate. "Let's move out then. Stay close once we're outside. The path is safe, but no point taking chances." As they walked toward the massive gates that separated the base from the wilderness beyond, Moon stayed near the back of the group, his eyes moving constantly. If you enjoyed this chapter, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next chapter of the story.